Okay, so I just figured I'd come on here and do a quick update on. It's early for me, but probably late for others. An update on some of the severe weather threats that are going on. So let me play this, and I'll be right back. All right, let's see what we got here. So, I don't even know what I'm doing. Uh, okay, so I think you can see this here. Okay, so here we go. This Indianapolis right here, Bloomington. This is Indiana, um, but I'll pan out more in a couple minutes here shortly to show you. But here's just some. I don't know if these are real uh, tornado threats here, but anytime you have a history of these storms coming through, these boxes will pop up here for severe. Any of these that are capable of producing, damaging wind, hail, tornadic activity, they'll automatically put up these boxes here. So doesn't necessarily mean every time you see a tornado box, it means that there's a tornado. It's an automatic system sometimes. It's just these storms have histories of producing, you know, funnel clouds. So that's why they'll put these up. But it seems like it's in this area here. It's starting to. This one here looks, a little bit better organized than some of the other ones. But anytime you start seeing a bend like this here in the cloud formation itself, could be cyclonic. But let's over here. So let's listen in here to a couple other places I'm going to go to as well. It's really nice here, man. It's finally like warm enough to be considered somewhat of a summer here, but of course it's going to rain for the rest of the week. It's going to be a complete washout this week here. So not looking forward to that, but at least it's warm. I'm going to be thankful for the little things here. All right, so let's look in. This is WCPO 9.
Has strong rotations in the upper levels as well as the lower levels, and that's what's projecting this towards the south and the east. As I take the lightning off so you can get a better look within this storm, you're seeing the worst of this is towards the southwest of Lovett.
So these, let me get out of the way.
Out
Folks.
into
So
southeastern Indiana. Again, this is not an interviewing area, but we're streaming.
These colors, the infrared colors that they put in here, they're basically showing you the cloud tops. So you got really, really cold here, less cold there, and they have I'll show you that in a second. So as cold air builds in or cooler air builds in and hits the warmer air slides underneath, creating cloud tops, and you have different levels of that. So these are showing you the coldest cloud tops in this system here.
Coming live to give you the heads up that this is heading our way.
Whoops.
I'm going to assume is what, 40 miles per hour, Cam?
Yeah, they're moving quick for sure.
Okay, 30 miles per hour. So that's not quite yet into our area, but if you know anybody out in Lancaster, that's 6:04. So that's 15 minutes. So if that's the distance for 15 minutes, you could say probably VV around 6:15, 6:30. So that's still about 40 minutes away. But we're giving you that 9-1 warning that within 40 minutes, you could potentially be dealing with a tornadic thunderstorm coming through as this cell is moving to the east-southeast. This has passed through Seymour. There were reports on Twitter that there was an actual tornado. I didn't see that the polygon turned purple, so the National Weather Service hasn't confirmed it, but there were some reports on Twitter and on social media showing a tornado that had actually developed. As far as everybody else to the north of there, we're starting to see these storms develop towards northern portions of Franklin County. That wasn't even there to that extent even 5 minutes ago.
Let me
look at the lightning building on the backside of
post this in the comments here.
20 minutes ago when we were live on air, there was not a thunderstorm out here. It started to develop and it started to strengthen quickly. And these, I think I got rid of the counter.
You mentioned, this is no longer forecasting, this is nowcasting with everything. And the National Weather Service says they do a few times each day. They just got their data back from their 4 p.m. weather balloon launch. This is what they do to see kind of what's going on in the environment and up in the atmosphere. And they said that it actually came back a little more stable, the data that they were getting, than they were anticipating. That being said, the additional storms that we've been talking about just out to the west that are developing in central Indiana kind of contradicts what they were getting in their weather balloons. So just the definition of nowcasting, it's so hard to forecast what's already happening with these storms and what's going to happen because the atmosphere is so unstable right now.
We are about 8 minutes away from WCPO9 News at 6. You can join ourselves on air as well as online. I believe our Facebook Live is probably going to come to an end at that point. But you can bet that we will fire up another one, and we'll be streaming.
Okay, so let's you definitely want to make sure that you monitor stuff like this. If I was in this, what they consider to be a tornado alley here, I definitely have, if I had, trees around me, I'd get some digital barometers, kind of put them at 4 points around your property. Definitely have one in the house for sure, because once you see the barometer pressure, so let's get out of here. I want to show you this here. I should never come on live. I work nights, so I go to sleep sometimes probably around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, depending on when I actually fall asleep. And then I get up, have my coffee around 5. So all right, so here we have, I believe this is the infrared here. Now this is the geocolor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a rocker and show you the instability here. So you have this humongous low pressure just turning all of this cyclonic stuff here up, mixing in, going around, coming down, and you're getting the front here. That's causing these flare-ups. But again, the warm air and cold air mix, and that's where you have your storms that's set up. It's almost like a battle, and you can definitely see it turning. But what I want to do is, this is what I really basically stake my life on when it comes to weather systems, is the water vapor, because it really shows you more the especially this one, because this is the upper level. So you see, the greens here that they put in here, that's the vapor of the water, and behind it you're seeing the spin, and what it does is just bangs into this cooler air here, and it causes it's pulling as it circulates counterclockwise. It's pulling all this warm air from the deep south up into the system, and of course, when you get down in here, you're basically below sea level, so all this air from the Gulf just kind of pours in, and then you have the cooler air here that wraps itself around from Canada, and you get that stationary, the front here. I mean, this imagery is not exotic as some of the infrared stuff that they put on the cloud tops, but that's they do that on purpose to scare the shit out of people, and rightly so. But like I said earlier, in some earlier stuff that I've done, tornadoes are almost like a freak of nature. They're not. It's not like you can just walk outside and see a tornado. They need a lot of elements to come together, all at the same period of time. But it seems like, in the spring and summer months, especially in Tornado Alley, you're going to get more prevalent storms than normal. So, if you live anywhere in Tornado Alley, I'm sorry. And I'll post that again here. Oops. Be great if I could spell. Stop this here for a second. I have way too many windows open here. Hello, Belle. Figured I'd come on and do a quick update on the severe weather. Let me know if you can hear me. So. Whoops. Are they live? They need to be careful because they're going, they're basically kind of going right into it. So this is basically, they do like a update on the alley of where they're expecting some of the tornadic activity. But this is generally the orange here is typically, let me go to this one here, in this general area here. But as you can see in this, it's starting to shift a little east this year here because it could be an El Nino year here. So, and again, here you have the Gulf of Mexico here. You have Canada, real cold Canadian air up here. And once you get these systems that come across the counterclockwise flow, you're going to get, this warm air that wraps itself in the system, bringing down cold air, and it creates a front here. let's get out of that.
Storm just to the southwest of Versailles, that has been the strongest storm that has been sustained near us for
The good
last
news is
half
they're
an
moving
hour
at
or
a pretty
so,
good
and I
clip.
believe that
They're
even
going about,
evoked a
you know,
tornado just about a half an hour
30
ago.
or 40
So
miles
the
an hour.
atmosphere is primed. It is perfect for severe weather development and tornadic development, and that is what we'll watch as we go through the rest of your evening. So I think we're going to end this live video.
I think
They
just
ventured
ended the
down and
live.
they settled in the land of Canaan, and then they settled in the city of Hebron, which is where Hebrew comes from, right?
Oh, sorry. There are, I mean, there's tons of storm chasers that are like popping up here. So let's go here. I guess it's just us. Yeah.
Is
That's
now
too funny.
moving
That's
out
fine.
of your
That works for
county.
me.
So in North Vernon, the Lovett area.
I don't think I'm
I
capable
think
of
you're in
having a
good
lot of
shape
people in the
now
chat.
with
yet.
that storm off to the south and east. But Madison, Indiana, Milton, Carrollton, also Bedford, Kentucky. Just keep an eye on this one because it's going to be moving on off towards the south and east, closer to the Ohio
So
River.
this is
And the main area of hail is
WOKY.
going to be right around
This,
the
I believe this is
Lancaster
Louisville.
area where we see those pinks and deeper shades of red. Also some extremely heavy rain, thunder and lightning as well. So the leading edge of that starting to get closer to you in Madison. So you need to wrap up your storm preps in Madison. You'll get wet doing it a little bit if you have to head outside, but you have a minute or two before the heavier rain,
The
wind, and
good
lightning all
news
starts to move in your
is,
direction.
you know, it seems like people are taking these things a little bit more seriously than they used to. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, Bill, because that's what I kind of am a storm chaser because I definitely used to go out in this stuff and tornadoes not so much, but I wouldn't mind it for sure.
Direction. As we put a track on this,
What was I saying?
especially where the worst.
Yeah, it seems like people are getting a little bit more in tune with tornadoes because you know they could cause some serious damage. It's not a joke, that's for sure.
Of the severe weather is with this storm. A lot of rain out ahead of it.
Thank you for
But
coming
the
in.
worst of the severe weather in terms of hail, severe wind gust, and the potential
Frosty is
for that
crazy. Yeah,
rotation
that's why I like him.
thunderstorm,
Frosty is
the
awesome.
tornado warning moves near Smyrna at 6:12, Hanover 6:18, China 6:22.
I wish I had his link. I'd put it in the
at
chat.
6:24, Madison as well, and Locust at 6:30.
Maybe I can find it.
So start to take those storm preparations. Let's go ahead, if you're in the Madison area, and start
Frosty's a good
working
guy.
our way down towards the basement in the center room because the rotation is a little farther off to the south and west of you. And while it's kind of gone in and out recently on the scans of the radar, the hail hasn't. So it's still a very severe thunderstorm that's pushing on off towards the south and east.
see
And
if
we've
I
still
can find his
occasionally
link.
seen some rotation indications on the south and west flank of this particular storm. Now, I look at this right now and it doesn't, I wouldn't think immediate tornado on the ground with it, but still some strong wind
I got way
gusts,
too many
and
windows open.
we still have some of those lighter shades of red going into some of the brighter shades of green. So there's still rotation with this particular storm that has warranted the tornado warning. with this, it started back over towards the Bloomington area. And it's been tornado warnings ever since as it's tracked on off towards the south and east. Now, the good news is we haven't had confirmed tornadoes on the ground with this, but likely the potential with the high wind gusts, the hailstones, this is a damaging supercell thunderstorm that's moving through north and western portions of Jefferson County, still showing on the radar that we have the potential for about a 1 inch to half-inch hail with that. So anything that gets an inch or higher, that's quarter-sized hail. That prompts
Okay, I think,
severe
hold
thunderstorm
on, I think
warnings across the
I almost had
area,
it.
and it's going to be in that zone. Look at that, the gray and black. That's really towards the higher end of what the radar will come back with and show you. So anywhere we get into the deep reds, the pinks, and the blacks, that's where we're talking about hailstones being indicated on the radar. And we've had that in just about all of the supercell thunderstorms we've been tracking for
Do you know
over the
his,
better part of the last couple of hours. And we're going to continue to
link?
see that as it pushes on off in the south and it's to the south and east, and still what is some very warm and muggy air across the area. Now we have just about 4 minutes left on this tornado warning. And then the National Weather Service, just updated.
Good call, Matt.
Yeah,
They're
we're
going to
watching.
expire that tornado warning. Yeah, they're going to let it expire and then convert it to a severe thunderstorm warning, as you can see there, as it just popped up.
And I do believe we do have some.
Yeah, see, what you want to see is like wherever they have that
Pictures of hail. We can.
velocity map up, they'll show you the but you'll want to see kind of like a bend here if there's any kind of rotation at all in the storm cloud itself.
Can take a look at. So this is from Joseph Strange,
Wow.
and take a look at the size of those things. Can you imagine those hitting you or your car? Just the amount of damage that falling from the sky, and that was in Paoli, and we had a lot of storm
There's
damage.
only
Look
one
at
person
look
watching
at all of
anyways,
the
and I think
pieces
that's you.
of hail. They've all
So,
bounced together to create
you already know, Frosty.
giant. It's a baseball size hail. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I know we all have different hand sizes, right? You know, but if you just take.
Thank you for coming in anyways.
You know, if you have a smaller or larger hand, I mean, just.
So this really sucks to get hit off the head with. These things definitely don't tickle.
Kind of, let's take the average. Let's assume the average here. That particular hailstone, especially kind of on the bottom left-hand side of that screen, is, yeah, kind of looks like we're getting
Or is it
into
softball?
tennis or baseball size hail.
I've been in hailstones. They're not up here when the hail falls. It'll kind of like, I don't want to say burn your skin, but it'll definitely it doesn't tickle, like I said.
With that, and then you see the golf balls on the top side of it, and also what's, you get some that can be very like round in nature, others kind of jagged, and that's just the nature of hailstones. That's another pretty sizable one. That's bigger than golf ball. Guys, y'all were reporting earlier the 2-inch diameter hail, and that's a solid 2, maybe even 2.5 up into Shoals, Indiana, and Martin County. That's with the original tornado warning that started all of this. That was extended up into Lawrence County, Indiana, a couple of hours ago. So this is why we have been with you with these storms. And this.
All right, I'm going to go here for a second. So this is the visible loop here. Let me put this rocker on again because so you can see, this just buildup of clouds here, just expanding. This center of circulation rotates and then it hits into this cooler, and then you see all of these cloud tops form here. But this is where most of the threat is here. And these will continue all night. They'll probably get a little bit more intense the longer the day goes on here, because you know, by just the sheer fact that it starts to get a little cooler as the evening progresses here. You get what they call a oh, cool. That's fine. If anybody's watching, Thomas Frost is awesome. So subscribe and like to him for sure. And Meow's awesome too. What was I saying? Yeah, so you get almost like a natural cool front at night because it gets cooler and kind of makes the storms a little bit more active. So this is great because it shows you the pluming of the power storms that are coming through, that the higher clouds here. But this is just this is typical summer pattern here. This is a low pressure system here that's just rotating counterclockwise, and it'll move. This is what we're going to get in a few days here. So yeah, Meow's awesome. I didn't catch her live this morning early, but I don't think probably didn't get a notification, but I probably did. I don't know. I really wish those kids would stop screaming up the street here. It sounds like they're. Oh. All right, so let's go back to this here. This.
We've been talking about severe alert days and the threat of
Yeah,
severe
she was,
weather here towards the end of our Sunday. The forecast model started indicating this
When
a
was
little
that?
earlier
When did you
last
see those
week,
tornadoes,
and
Phil?
everything has kind of come into the proper
Is that today?
ingredients and everything with it to produce some of these showers and thunderstorms that
I
have
don't
been
know if they're
supercellular in
necessarily.
nature and producing the severe weather
Yeah,
across
it's
our
the,
areas.
Matt.
Yeah, we got another tornado warning. This one just popped up. This is
The majority of them are coming this way to the East Coast, yeah, but I don't know. It'd be rare to see a tornado where I am, but not saying it's not possible. It's just we'll definitely get some heavy rain and pretty good storms. Who was just on the? Oh,
for Floyd, Harrison, and for Jefferson County. This is going to be showing up here in just
yeah,
a
these are
second.
going
There we
to
go.
pop up all day long.
There-
These red boxes here are going to pop up pretty much all day long. These are. What happens is they have an emergency system where anytime these storms have a history of producing, severe weather, they'll pop up these alerts and cones here. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a tornado in here, but these storms have histories of producing tornadoes. So basically just like an alert system, but if you're in that cone probability here, then it's more likely to see tornadic activity than it normally would be in just a regular severe storm here box. But what they'll do is they'll keep updating this here as the storm moves.
in the red,
And that is with the storm that's behind the one.
yes.
That is currently
definitely
over
the plants and the pets.
So,
Look,
Yeah, just
see
northwest
this.
of Corydon.
yeah, and this is one that's been ramping up a little bit as of late, and it's one that we're going to keep a close eye.
I'm telling you, it's nice here. I'm in New Hampshire, so This is like the first couple of days here, the last couple of days where it's actually been what I consider to be warm. And I freaking love it. We only get up here, we only get maybe 2 months at best of warm, muggy air. So I'm living the dream right now. This is great. It's the first time I've been outside for a while.
Eye on here, because really what you see, what's going on, is there any
Yes.
way, let's put a little bit of a loop on this. It might be confusing, but I want to look at it just real quick. And so what's going on is this was likely more of a straight line wind gust, kind of faded away, and now it's kind of wrapping back in around it a little bit more. So what we're going to watch for,
Yeah, see that? Hold on, let me play that
with
again.
these supercell thunderstorms,
He plays
sometimes
it
they can
again.
produce a
That
little
more looks like that straight line wind there looks more like a
bit of their own
microburst
environment as they continue to march on across
right
the
there.
area.
Microbursts are bad
And
too.
so you can go from straight line wind gusts to enhancing more rotational type winds, and all while doing this in an environment that's producing heavy rain and
Isn't it
hail
awesome?
and high straight line winds too. So we're going to continue to monitor.
I'm probably the only person in New England that loves muggy weather. I live for this stuff. I breathe better in this stuff here than I do in the dry crap.
This storm. So this one is now just northwest of Corydon. And I want you to notice, let's kind of find the red box here.
Yeah, the microbursts are, people forget about those. We had one here towards the East Coast, around Dover and Epsom, the middle east of the state, a few years back, and it just completely destroyed everything. And you could tell it was a microburst because, tornadoes will leave sporadic damage, where straight line winds will just completely tear everything down. And it looks like somebody just kind of went over the trees with a lawnmower.
That's the tornado warning. And so they issued this for this particular rotation of the storm. That's between,
When was that? The one in
let's
Rhode
say
Island?
just off to the north.
Yeah, they're terrible. But years ago, when I was storm chasing, I would drive right into them. I don't care.
West of Corydon and to the southwest of New Salisbury, also to the south and east of DePaul. So kind of in that triangulated area. And then it's going to continue off towards the south and east. And what the National Weather Service has done with that warning, as it's moving on off toward the south and east, it's going quick enough that for the next half hour or so, because this goes until 6:45, that'll put it very close to the metro. So the Louisville area, while we are dealing with currently a thunderstorm that has the potential to produce
that must
high
have been
wind gusts
awesome.
and hailstones and very heavy rain, as well as the thunder and lightning, the tornado warning that just
I'd love to go see that. Do they still do that? The festival? I used to go down to Rhode Island all the time. We used to go down to Providence to see concerts all the time. I love Providence, Rhode Island, but there's just that smell in Providence. It's just, I don't know what it is down there. But we used to stay at the Biltmore Hotel down there. Oh, I'd love to go see that. That's definitely on my bucket list. I don't think I've been to that one. I know I've been to the one up here in New Hampshire at the Seacoast, Portsmouth. But that'd be awesome. Are you from Rhode Island, or? Most of Rhode Island's nice. I like Rhode Island a lot.
recently was issued. So if you are hearing that on your cell phones, if you're hearing that on your NOAA weather radio, know that for the tornado warning, the rotation with this storm is still back off to the west in Harrison County. Now, Harrison County, we're going to watch this particular hook echo on this storm, because as it pushes off towards the south.
I think I saw, who did I see in Rhode Island? I saw, I forget now. Did I see Foreigner there? I might have saw Foreigner there.
South and east. It'll likely go north of you in downtown Corydon, but I still want to be very much on the lookout in Corydon, as well as New Salisbury, Crandall over to Breckenridge, as this storm moves off towards the south and east. Let's go ahead and get in those tornado safe places again. Your basements, your interior rooms with no windows, likely closets underneath stairs can make great shelters as well. So scope that out and head in that direction now, because you do have a tornado
So this is
warning
the
in your
velocity
area,
map here.
and
He was just
the
showing.
more rotation, the worst of that storm that's prompted the tornado warning is in your area right now into northern Harrison County. Now, farther on off towards the south and east into the metro, we'll watch that in just a second, but I want to give you an outlook here. If this heads into Corydon, it'll be around 6:18. So about another 2 to 3 minutes. So one more scan of the radar, and that's going to get you pretty close. Going to get it pretty close to Corydon here, as well as Crandall, New Middletown about 6:28, Lanesville 6:29. So that starts to get into the metro. Valley Station 6:45. That could even be a little bit sooner than that. So I just want a heads up. You're starting to see that we get into some of our metro neighborhoods on the tail end of this warning. And what will likely happen is, if this rotation continues and this storm looks like it does right now, as we get closer to when that storm is going to cross the Ohio River into the metro, the National Weather Service will reevaluate that and likely extend those warnings farther off to the east if need be. If we can go a little farther east of this storm, Mo and Daniel, I want to look at what's going on in the metro right now, because
WLKY.
this
This
can
is out
cause
of
some confusion.
Louisville.
We're getting tornado warnings for the metro. We're under severe thunderstorm warnings. But what is
Foreigner
over
was
the
great.
metro
I saw
right
Foreigner
now
with
is the severe thunderstorm warning. There is
Phillies
not,
Fire.
at least does not appear to be, a tornado in this particular storm. We have the heavy rain.
I
We
basically
have
grew
the
up in
thunder and
Revere.
lightning, and we also still have some indications of hail, 1/2 inch to 1 inch in diameter. And we were showing you pictures earlier of the golf ball to even larger egg, and maybe even up to baseball-sized hail that fell farther to the north and
I have
west
mad
of town.
respect for storm
So these storms
chasers. That's
still
why I
have
don't.
the capability of putting down hailstones as they push in and through the metro. That's the severe component to this storm. Now, the tornado warning in the red box is farther on out towards the west with that storm in Harrison County. So we have some time in the metro to watch it.
Okay, let's
But
go
in Harrison and
to
also
Kentucky.
southern Floyd County, this is south and west of you in the Knobs, that's where you're going to want to be paying close attention
Whoops.
to this as we move through.
Yeah. Kelly's.
Floyd in northern Harrison County. Where is it going?
I haven't been to Revere in, I probably want to say about 10 years. And the last time I was down there, it looks nothing like, well, I mean, it looks the same, but not the same people. I love it down, like Winthrop and Revere. It's brings back the old times.
Going over the river into possibly downtown over much of Metro Louisville. So we're going to keep this severe thunderstorm warning for Louisville probably for quite some time over the next half hours.
And then, you know, the pizza is just so much better. Something about New Hampshire pizza that just sucks. It's just awful.
So then we're going to see that threat move downstream. That's going to be heading down 64 towards Shelbyville, towards Taylorsville, Mount Washington, other parts of Bullitt County, and other parts of Metro Louisville over the next half hour. What do you want to do? You want to stay inside anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning. If you want to be real safe, head down to the lowest level of your home.
So this is out of, I believe this is Kentucky.
Alden, let's go ahead and bring up some more information, some safety tips, some reminders here of what to do, where to go when there is a tornado issued. Thankfully, right now, we do not have a tornado warning that has been canceled. But you definitely want to find a sturdy shelter.
I don't know what it is like, and I don't want to, bash nationalities, but I think the fact that the pizza stinks up here is because there's too many Greeks that make it. And I love Greek food, but nothing like Italian pizza, in my opinion.
Away from the windows, preferably your basement. You're wanting as many walls between you and the outside away from the windows. You want to get out of a mobile home. You want to have that plan ahead of time to find a sturdier shelter. You can grab your severe weather safety kit, first aid, flashlight, candles, charged cell phones, pillows, blankets, anything that can help you block the debris. So again, if we do get another tornado
This is
warning,
probably the most important thing these days is a charged cell phone, right?
just some reminders. And we do have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings, but thankfully at the moment, we do not have a tornado warning at this time.
Yeah, I agree with
this
you.
is a look here at some of the heavy rainfall coming.
Some of the best restaurants in the world, I've always said, were from Lynn, Massachusetts. The Greeks, and I remember all the time going down there. And most of the great restaurants down there, you know, looking at the restaurant from outside, it's a dive, literally a dump, but you go inside. And I love the Greeks. They treat you like family. It's like, love it.
Coming down right over 65 and Muhammad Ali. Traffic moving, but definitely having to slow down through this heavy rainfall that we have across the area.
Especially the lamb stuff. Oh my God, it's like, now I'm getting hungry.
To Max HD radar, severe thunderstorm warning ongoing for downtown Louisville, Metro Louisville, suburbs, and surrounding areas. The storm is moving to the east and southeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So we've got probably about a half hour, 45 minutes to deal with this severe thunderstorm warning in Louisville right now. And then we're going to see the severe weather threat pass after that, thankfully. Let's get back to radar here. There's the heavy rain over Louisville right now. There's the hail that it still looks pretty healthy here, Alden, right over Interstate 64. This is right over the knobs right now. So that is possibly damaging hail that is now right about here. So as Alden mentioned, this data is just a little bit old. So we're talking about this moving towards Portland, New Albany, Floyd's Knobs, over 111.
Oh, really?
And so heavy, large hail coming down near Georgetown, Lanesville, and it's moving.
Yeah, there's nothing. I'll tell you. My uncle was Albanian, and they had his family had a small bakery down in Boston years ago. We were kids back then, but I remember going to that bakery as a kid, and you can smell the aroma from the bakery like before you get in the store. And then you get in the store and it's like almost like noxious fumes. It's so wonderful because they use so many different oils to make their bread. And I remember that smell like it was yesterday. It smells so awesome. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like when we used to eat there, they used to serve everybody wine, including the kids. Like you'd sit at these, like, I don't know, 14-seat tables, and they passed the wine out and everybody would get wine, including us as kids.
Moving off to the east and southeast. Gotta watch.
We thought that was the shit, like, oh my God, we're getting wine.
Watch out.
Yeah, and if you don't eat the food, it's like an insult, so you gotta kind of eat until you get, whether you're hungry or not.
Near the hail cores, usually on the south end of the hail core, there can be some rotation. Can't rule out quick spin up.
My uncle was a great cook. he Albanian. I grew up with all of that stuff, the belly dance and all of it.
EF0, EF1 tornado. In a situation like this, we just have a very ripe atmosphere out there. It is hot, it's humid, that is feeding these thunderstorms.
Because we're part, he was Albanian, but on my mother's side, there's a ton of Lebanese culture. So the food was just absolutely great.
And I'd say the damaging wind field that we're seeing is expanding.
I would literally probably give everything I own right now for some really good grape leaves and baklava and, my God, lentil soup.
And getting larger around Lanesville. A pretty good bet we're going to get some power outages with this. This is southern Floyd County. So this is downtown Louisville right here, Portland to Shively, out west of 264, right over the river is where we have potentially damaging winds. This is showing 65-mile-per-hour winds. And the thing is, we're very close to the radar. So we're getting a lot closer to the ground with the radar beam. So we're starting to see the potential of damaging winds increasing. So you see the hail grow. That's typically when we see the wind threat grow, and really all the different hazards. Hail very closely correlated to a strengthening updraft in the supercell. Those winds going up possibly over 100 miles per hour to hold that large hail.
Oh, that sucks. You should do a genealogy thing. Yeah, I'm basically French and English and Turk, technically. If you want to get technical. But I'll eat any food, literally. Portuguese is good food too, like Portuguese, great cooks.
Aloft, and then once that hail drops, again, it can cause damage to cars, homes, and possibly just be unsafe for you as well. So just stay inside. Let's take a look at some video of some of the hail outside of our WHS 11 studios. So that looks like some small kind of dime-sized hail that was from the previous thunderstorm, but I'm seeing bigger hail just over the river that's possibly on the way to impact more parts of Louisville. So we've got all those threats we're talking about. You can see the heavy rain pouring there in our parking lot with the hail, with the lightning strikes, and then potentially isolated tornadoes as well. This hail core showing anywhere from about 1 to 2 inch size hail that is up around golf ball size hail, quarter size hail, very strong supercell thunderstorm. Then you can see the motion of that hail core that's heading to the southeast. So this is one of our biggest issues right now is that large hail and possibly some damaging wind gusts as well. Back to reflectivity. So we've got one supercell that's, I would say, a little bit of an weakening trend. This is just a very heavy rainmaker. This is where we got the small hail from. That is all the way from 71 down past the Waterson, just north of the Brooks exit there. And then you got a slight break downtown between that supercell and then the next one that's actually stronger. So severe thunderstorm warning out for this one that's going to be moving over the river into downtown here in just a couple of minutes. You want to stay inside and away from the doors and the windows with a supercell like that. Let's check
what
out
I also see
yeah.
here, Ben, looking at this, the loop of the last hour, they're starting to merge together and come together too, which could potentially really strengthen this. But it's really interesting actually seeing how Metro Louisville is pretty much the only target here. We have the one cell move through. We have the second one that's starting to move through right now. And I am concerned about what does still appear to be a growing hail core about to move into Metro Louisville. So it just passed through Georgetown. It's Georgetown. It's south of Floyd's Knobs. It's kind of just to the east there of Lanesville along State Road 62 and State Road 11 in in southern Indiana there in Floyd County. So if you live in the West End, if you're near Shively, if you're near the Portland neighborhoods, the California neighborhoods, there is a good possibility you're about to see some very large hail. So we've already had quite a bit of hail. Haley Minogue texted me not too long ago as well, reporting hail around I-7 dime-sized tail near I-71 and Zorn. That was from this first cell down here that's almost become stationary now. But as it's beginning to merge with that other storm moving out of southern Indiana, we could see that hail potential grow again. So right now we are looking at a heavy rain threat, a possible flash flooding threat, but I would say hail and gusty winds are our largest concerns at the moment. Put on that hail tracker again, you can see that it's just very, very large hail right along I-64 there, moving toward Portland, Shively, and toward the downtown Louisville area. We can take a quick look outside too to see what we have. This is in Jeffersonville at the moment, trying to look towards the area of where some of that hail is coming. Right now, we only see some very heavy rain. Looking at our downtown camera on top of Hospital Curve, still seeing just some heavy rain excuse me, at the moment, still some frequent lightning, but you're also going to notice a little bit of sunshine there and how much our temperatures have dropped. We were at 86 degrees, now we're at 74, so it's cooled off quite a bit, but there's still a lot of energy in the atmosphere for this storm to work with.
Yeah, no doubt. And of equal concern, I think, is the wind damage threat. So let's get back to our velocity and check out the wind speeds of the raindrops here. So the radar here down towards Fort Knox, very close to the ground. So these winds are very close to the surface, and these are possibly damaging.
All right, sorry, I had to get more coffee.
Damaging wind gusts nearly 70 miles per hour. We know after a very windy winter and springtime, we've seen this before. You get these blue colors right here. That indicates those damaging wind gusts that are overspreading. This damaging wind field has been expanding with the growing hail. So they just go hand in hand here. Frequent cloud ground lightning, possibly ponding of water on the ground, damaging hail, damaging winds. So right over southern Floyd County. Here's Interstate 64, Lanesville right in the middle of it, the worst of it just to the east of Corden right now. And this is tracking to the southeast. So next up, that damaging wind threat, possibly mainly straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70 mile per hour, heading over the Ohio River to Shively, to PRP, possibly clipping Valley Station. It'll be very close. Yeah, possibly moving right over the airport, downtown Louisville. So much of Metro Louisville possibly impacted by those severe winds, which will, in high likelihood, will produce some power outages for Louisville too. Those power outage reports usually take, I don't know, about 15 minutes, half hour to get them into the system. So we're likely going to get quite a bit of power outage reports from around the Georgetown, and Lanesville areas, parts of Floyd and Harrison County. Been very busy there.
The National Weather Service is also updating the text for this severe thunderstorm warning for Metro Louisville for hail up to 2 inches in diameter, as we are seeing there right behind you, and a 70 mile per hour wind gust. So they're seeing the same thing we are, which is that the storm is growing. The upper level winds are starting to get a little bit stronger, probably making it down to the surface. And the hail in this storm is also continuing to grow. So we're possibly going to see some hail damage across portions of Metro Louisville here within the next 30 minutes.
And go ahead and click on this area right here. We'll query and see here just to basically right over.
I'll go here for a second. Right. Exactly. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people just go out walking around and that stuff. All right. So this is us here. And you can see the leading edge of the front here back towards our west. But we're going to get some, these are, pop-up thunderstorms here, because this looks to me like the leading edge of a high pressure up north here. Let me go here. So again, this is the water vapor here. And a tiny low pressure here circulating. So that's what's causing these pop-up storms here. but this storm here, this low pressure means business. So this is yep, right there, right here. And if these waters were any warmer right here, once this heads off here, you might see a couple of funnel clouds from this here. Wacky weather, man. Yeah, we got rid of our cable here.
With this severe thunderstorm warning. Here's a track where that hail core.
We got rid of our cable here because, I mean, nobody watches TV here anymore. I don't watch any TV at all. I have my computer, so I don't. If I want to watch something, I'll just, watch a live or something from somebody. I mean, when football season starts and stuff, I'll just do the YouTube thing. I can just watch it on YouTube. But I mean, we were paying 4 people in this house. I'm 1 guy and 3 girls, so I wouldn't have any access to the TV anyways. So, but when football starts, I'll probably just gotta watch. I have to have my football, but
Or is heading. If it stays healthy, it's going to be heading towards Shively here in just a couple
we
minutes.
were paying. I think we were paying like almost $200 a month for cable, and I never freaking watch TV. So, I mean, now we just have the internet, and we all have cell phones. So these, it's just a waste of money. It's
Park at 647.
years ago, that's all you had was a TV. But now there's so many other different availabilities of things. It's kind of like highway robbery to charge people that much money for something you don't even watch. I mean, we had like 300 channels, but I mean, 300 channels of what? I mean, I don't watch it.
We've got the airport there on and around 651, Okolona 655,
The
Hillview
remote
at
control
7,
belongs to the woman,
around
absolutely.
702 into Fern Creek, Mount Washington 710, and the Crenshaw.
I have absolutely no control over anything in my house. I don't. I am probably the lowest person on the totem pole here. I almost get treated almost like a slave here. Like I don't have any say in anything. I don't have any. I just this is my soapbox for a couple minutes. But if people are coming to me with an issue, then all hope is lost because I will fuck everything up. Like people don't even ask me anymore to fix shit around here. They know better. I tried fixing the sink the other day, and oh my god, it's a nightmare. But I don't. I don't. Sometimes I'll try to speak up in this house, and then I get quickly sent to my room. Like, I got to be the dumbest person in the
Area
world.
at about 7:15. So that's eventually going to move it out of the metro area at about 7.
I am.
7:15. Then it's going to
06.
slide into parts of possibly Bullitt and Spencer counties, and maybe even into Shelby County. Let's go back and look at our viewing area.
Like I said though, like if I want to watch, say I want to watch a game, like a basketball game, I just watch it on the computer. I don't need a TV. I don't like. I mean, years ago that was it. You had ESPN and stuff like that, but nowadays there's so many different outlets to to stream shit. I don't, you know.
Radar. We do have still some other thunderstorms out there, but we will get right back to downtown here in just a second. So
I mean, when my kids were young, we had to have cable because we had to watch. We had to get, you know, all of the, you know, kid stuff, TV stuff. But you know, they were never really into a lot of the normal TV kid shit. Like, but you know, they did enjoy some of the stuff. So we had to, you know, we had basically sports and, you know, Nickelodeon and Sprout, and that was about it. That's all we really ever watched.
there's another severe thunderstorm warning up here.
And of course, Game of Thrones, you know, so that was cool. But
Around Madison, Indiana, that had a tornado warning on it earlier, but things are soon going to be settling down over much of southern Indiana. This is likely putting down some hail, some gusty winds around the Carrollton area in Carroll County. That won't last long as it cruises right through Carroll County over the next 15, 20 minutes. Okay, back down to the southwest. It looks like, Alden, the storms that we had out west earlier, if we can do a loop, they have collapsed and everything's concentrated on this one big thunderstorm.
yeah, they'll
So
fire.
these were strong.
They'll probably fire back up again later on because, you know, this is the Louisville here, and if you go more, I would say southwest here, they're getting out of that frontal boundary here. That's more towards the northeast of that. So, but you know, that'll probably shrink a little bit tonight. Once it starts to get a little bit cooler.
Thunderstorms right here over the Ohio River into Perry County. Those have fallen apart, and it looks like all the energy is coming together.
But Texas is like beyond hot right now. It's like 125 degrees down there. So that's, I mean, even for Texas, that's hot. You know, I like heat, but I don't even know if I could handle that. That's a little warm.
Together again over Floyd and Jefferson County and Jefferson County, Kentucky, of course, Metro Louisville. Hail looks like it's still very large here just to the south of downtown New Albany.
Yeah, Game of Thrones we were religious with Game of Thrones. It was every single week, you know, we would, and then the last season took forever to come out. It was like 2 years. So the anticipation of the last season was like, oh, I can't wait. And then it happened. And I think what happened with Game of Thrones is people anticipated it so much that when it came out, they're like, the fuck is this? You know? I mean, I enjoyed it, but you know, you had all of these people that were saying it was terrible. But you know, I think that was because of the anticipation of the.
And very near the Knobs, that is the hail core.
I've been to Texas once, and I don't remember anything. I do remember going out on what they call it, a rattlesnake roundup, where they get a whole bunch of people together at night and they go out and corral all these rattlesnakes up. And I was like, no thanks, no thank you. I two things I'm not doing. I'm not going down in a submersible 12,000 feet under the water, and I'm not hunting rattlesnake. Okay, I'm just not doing it.
Or very close
Especially
to
at
the
night.
ground, that purple color right there. And the storm tops going up to about 40,000 feet. Obviously, it's just a very powerful supercell thunderstorm right on top of Louisville and also the surrounding communities. Up to the north, not severe, but you've got heavy rainfall coming down over parts of other areas in southern Indiana. Okolona looks like we still have some hail there. Strong.
Yeah, I remember talking to a guy once at a bar who was from Texas, and you know, I asked him, like, what do you do when it's that hot down there in Texas? And he's like, you don't leave the house, you stay in the house, because it's just, I mean, I don't know how anybody can stand 125 degrees or that type of extreme is, it's probably not good for anybody.
Strong thunderstorm, but not severe over Crothersville. And then back down here, heavy rain over Sellersburg into parts of Jeff and New Albany and Clarksville. Downtown Louisville, very heavy rainfall. So just, again, just a lot of different hazards here. There is some rotation.
We don't have to worry about that around here. That's for sure. It's like I said, it just started to get nice the last week here, but you know, it's been raining so much. It's I've already mowed the lawn like, I don't know, 6 or 7 times.
Let's get back to the winds and we'll track where that strong wind threat's going to be heading. It looks like it's now over the Ohio River. So we've got an update here.
If I was to move, I'd probably move to we love the Carolinas. Like I love we love South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area, but you know, this crazy weather and crazy shit everywhere. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't left here. Even though this sucks too, but if I was to move, that's probably where I'd go.
With our velocity radar wind speeds, and it looks like
I have to be by an ocean. I don't think I'd be able to live in the middle of the United States because we're about, I don't know, from here we're probably about an hour away from the beach, but at least we can get to one, you know. I love the beach, so because I kind of grew up around, you know, the beach. So it wasn't the greatest beach in the world, but it was a beach. And the salt air, you know, just can't beat it.
like some damaging wind gusts are right on top of Shively right now and heading towards the Waterson from southern.
Yeah, I get the lawnmower. I mean, like if I had my way, we'd live right on the beach. Like that would be, and I don't even care if it's like a cold beach, as long as it's salt air. It's so wonderful. It's just great.
Floyd County in Indiana. So here's the casino.
And the seafood, you know, like my goodness. Now I keep talking about food, I'm getting hungry.
And those strong damaging winds in excess of 65 miles per hour are heading towards Shively right now and crossing over Dixie Highway within just a few minutes. So stay inside, stay in your safe place here in Louisville. Let's go out and check with our storm chasers. So Reed Yates and John Humphreys out there in the storm now. Reed?
These guys are awesome.
Okay, there is the storm you're talking about, Ben. Winds are picking up. We're here.
This is what you don't want to see, the shelf cloud, the higher cloud tops here.
In Shively, just south of Shively along Dixie Highway. There you see the rolling clouds. Nothing out of it yet. In fact, we're not getting a bit of rain here at the moment. And everything is winds picking up 25, 30 miles an hour, but no active weather here at the moment. But it certainly will be. It's a very ominous looking cloud, but this is the cell that you guys have been watching. You could see the inflow boundary on that thing. Temperatures have dropped here about 10 to 15 degrees in the last 15 minutes.
They're young. They can do this shit. You know, like, I think Frosty is like, what, 22? I'd probably be doing the same thing. Frosty's a good guy.
It was warm, very warm, moist air just a few minutes ago. Now it is a much cooler air. It has changed directions as this giant storm is right on us. Wind gust.
And Coach Kev, do you know who Coach Kev is? Coach Kev is awesome. Usually Jinx pops in here. She's probably busy.
Picking up now, perhaps 35 miles an hour or so. There you see the trees whipping around. So far, no precipitation coming out of it. We're looking for anything that might drop out of it.
See, that's the thing about these storms out in the Midwest here. You don't really see a lot of rain, and that's a bad thing because the rain kind of impedes the development of these circulations because of the upwelling. So, you know, if you're not seeing a lot of rain and you got clouds like this here, that's when you kind of want to be on the alert because, you know, they can pack more of a punch if there's no cold rain falling.
These clouds, not seeing it yet, but if you're in Shively, PRP, Valley Station, it is showtime. You can see what's happening here. Rain, light rain just beginning. We're about 3 miles just to the south of
Love Jinx. Jinx is awesome.
the Interstate 264, and there's what's going on. We move a little bit here, give you a little better view of what's happening. We also had a report.
All right, I think I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for coming in, Bell. Appreciate it. Keeping me company here. But it's 7, and yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've lost my accent for sure. I've been up here for a while though. I'm a city guy in the country here, so that's the thing. But plus I'm old, so it doesn't help. But who knows? Maybe I'll get it back. But thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm going to get out and try to do some damage around here before I got to go to work. But hopefully Frosty comes on at some point. But I'll see y'all later. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stay safe.